Good afternoon. Today we're doing our second workshop of the semester, and this workshop is going to look a little bit different from the more prescriptive workshop where I gave you guys a list of questions and asked you to use those to respond to the paper. This one is more open-ended, and I like to call it Think Aloud, or another title could be Movies of the Reader's Mind. Movies of the Reader's Mind comes from a book called Sharing and Responding by two teachers named Peter Elbow and Pat Belanoff. And basically, the theory behind Movies of the Reader's Mind is that Elbow and Belanoff say that most of the time when we get feedback on our writing, we get people telling us, change this, do this, fix this, this is correct, this is wrong. And what they say is that's not the type of feedback that we need. What we really need is to know what happened for our reader as we were reading. So what was our reader wondering about? What did our reader visualize as they were reading our paper? What type of questions did they have? And just basically what happened in your head as you read this. And I think that last week we talked about the idea of switching from writer-based prose, where we're thinking about what we want to accomplish, to reader-based prose, where we're anticipating what our reader wants to see, what our reader already knows, what our reader has questions about. And if we're able to do that effectively, we're able to pitch our paper much better toward our reader. So what I'm going to do today is model this type of Think Aloud, Movies of the Reader's Mind feedback with Marissa here. I've not seen this paper before, so this is going to be my authentic response, just kind of what I'm reacting the first time, or how I'm reacting rather the first time I'm reading this. It's going to feel a little bit awkward and inauthentic because, of course, I can't really express what's going on in my head very well or not perfectly, but I'm going to try, and hopefully it will be helpful for you. When you guys are doing this yourselves, just try to relax and just know that everyone is doing it. It's going to feel awkward, but no matter what you say, your subjective response will be helpful to the reader because they'll know what it's doing. Or it'll be helpful to the writer, the person who wrote the paper, rather. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. I'm looking at the first paragraph, and I have it projected up here, and I'm going to add comments from Marissa as I go, as a way of annotating the text. So I'm going to read it out loud, sentence by sentence, for the first few paragraphs, and I'm going to respond. Transitioning from high school to college can be very difficult for some students for a multitude of factors. One of the things that I notice, and one of the things that I like that Marissa has done here, is I like that you get directly to the point, a multitude of factors. And we're not messing around here, immediately answering the prompt. And for me as a reader, I like to see that focus right away. These factors can be maturity levels, personal issues, and not being completely ready for college level classes. Some other factors would have to take on adult responsibilities and other issues. So we've got a little bit of a sentence level awkwardness there, but when you read it out loud, you can hear it, huh? So we've got a variety of factors, and we've kind of provided a list of them there. And now I guess I'm wondering as a reader, are you going to address all of these things, or are these just for the sake of example?
I'm going to address all of them.
Okay, okay. So we've got sort of a paragraph on each. That's what I'm anticipating at least. Okay. What kids may also face would be not getting that one-on-one time with their teachers and getting enough constructive criticism back. It's really interesting. The thing that I key on in with this sentence is kids, the word choice there. Why kids, do you think? Why not adults or college students? Do you think of college students, or do you think of yourself as a writer as an adult in this situation, or why kids?
I just feel like I know like being 18 is like being an adult, but to me they're still kids.
Interesting.
Because they're just so young.
Okay, so does that kind of tie into this issue of maturity that we have here? Yeah, okay. Maybe, I hope that you unpack this idea a little bit more in a later paragraph and explain what you mean by kids. Getting enough constructive criticism. When going from teenager to adult, kids, that's okay. Kids have too much to take on in some situations, and there are a few things that the professors and the students themselves can do to help ease the change. Here you're using the language of the prompt. I love the focus that this is a twofold solution. There are things that teachers can do to ease the transition. There are things that students can do to ease the transition. And one of the things that I guess I wonder is, can we make this thesis more specific? A few things that people can do. One of the things that I want to know as a reader, because I'm an impatient and I want to know exactly where the paper's going in the thesis, I want to know what those things are up front at the beginning. So maybe we can kind of come back to that at the end and revise that thesis to make it a little bit more specific once we discover what your argument is. Okay. Let's move on to the second paragraph just briefly. First off, we've got a nice transition there. Since not many new college students have an idea of what the college level courses are like, they should start off in high school by taking college prep courses. I'm noticing kind of a chronological order, so this is what they should do before even coming to college. I like that. This would give them an idea of what college will be like, and that way college courses will not be such a shock. The shorter semesters do come into play, and that can be a rather difficult obstacle to overcome and get used to. If the students start out as a basic writer in English, let's say, they should take classes that will help them gear toward college level classes. Okay, so now we're switching to what we do if we're in a basic writing class when we're already in college. So how does that fit with your topic sentence? That's what I'm wondering as a reader, because that seems to be, we're talking about college prep. Do you put basic skills classes in that same category of being a college prep class?
I was just trying to give an example of being like an English class.
So you're trying to focus explicitly on writing as being part of your transition.
Like this idea is one of the quotes.
Right, right. So then you can bring in Mina Shaughnessy and say, when we're talking about placement and developmental writing classes. Okay, so one of the things that I'm wondering, it seems like we have a lot to accomplish in this paper, and I'm seeing all of these different concerns. And I think you're absolutely right to acknowledge all of them. I agree with you. But I'm wondering, as a reader, I'm feeling almost overwhelmed. Like we've got too much going on. We have all of these concerns listed in the first paragraph. And then in the second paragraph, we've already had multiple, developmental writing classes, college prep courses, semesters are an issue. I'm wondering if we can narrow in our focus a little bit and focus on maybe the top 2 or 3 factors that really, really affect us as new students, and maybe develop those ideas instead of wanting to focus on all of them. That's kind of what I want to see as a reader, so you can really dig deep and provide more analysis there. Okay, let's go ahead and stop now. Marissa, this is a first draft, and she's done a great job.